You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You write some code, you're absolutely sure it's perfect, you hit run, and it just doesn't work. It's completely wrong. That moment of, wait, what? That's exactly where the real work and the real learning begins. So let's dive in and really master the art of debugging. This is the question, isn't it? It's the one thing every single programmer on the planet asks themselves probably every single day. Why isn't this thing doing what I told it to do? Well, finding the answer is a skill. It's a craft, really. And I promise you, getting good at it will totally change the way you code. So here's our game plan. We're going to go on a little debugging journey. We'll start with getting into the right mindset. Then we'll look at our old friend, the humble print statement, and talk about where it falls short. After that, we're going to level up with some much smarter tools, and we'll wrap up by learning the real art, knowing which tool to grab for any kind of bug. Okay, first things first, let's get this straight. Debugging is not a chore. It's not a punishment for writing bad code. Honestly, it's a superpower. It's one of the most fundamental parts of being a good programmer. It's where the real understanding happens. I love this analogy because it's just so perfect. When your code isn't working, it's like your car is making a weird noise. You can't just stare at the outside and guess what's wrong. Debugging is what lets us pop that hood, get our hands dirty, and see exactly what each and every part is doing in there. All right, let's talk about the original gangster of debugging tools, the simple, the humble print statement. For most of us, this is our very first line of defense when things start to go sideways. So, check out this function right here. Super simple. It's supposed to calculate the factorial of 5. Now, you and I know that should be 120, but when we run this code, we get 0, a big fat 0. So, what on earth is going on? This is where print can be a lifesaver. We just add one little line, print result, right inside that loop to see what's happening. And boom, the problem just jumps right out at us. The output shows that our result variable turns into 0 on the very first pass of the loop. And of course it does. We started it at 0, and anything multiplied by 0 is, well, 0. Just like that, print found our bug in seconds. So you might be thinking, okay, that worked great. If print does the job, what's the big deal? Why do we need anything else? Well, the truth is, as soon as our projects get even a little bit bigger, relying on print starts to become a real headache. And here's why. First, your terminal just gets flooded with output. It's a mess. Second, you have to remember to go back and manually delete all those print statements later. And the biggest problem? There's no context. You just see a value. But which variable was it? Which line of code printed it? You're left guessing. Print just doesn't scale. So, it is